There's a station buried deep in the northern woods of England, where no birds sing and no trains run anymore. At least, not in the way we understand trains. Locals don't talk about it. If you ask them, they'll shake their heads and walk away. Old men at the pub go quiet. Children dare each other to speak its name, then quickly take it back. But everyone agrees on one thing. Those who go to the station don't come back. The place has a name, Crimson Crossing. The name still appears in records, but only in files marked classified or long since burned. Once people boarded trains here, then they simply stopped arriving at their destinations. No debris, no witnesses, just gone. The line was officially closed in 1961, but those who live nearby, what few remain, say the station never stopped running. They say the trains still come, but they take you somewhere else. In the summer of 2025, 4 young urban explorers discovered a Reddit thread about a phantom station not far from where they were filming their latest documentary. They called themselves Urban Shadows. Nia, the paranormal believer, Liam, the sarcastic skeptic, Ron, the tech wizard, and Tasha, their fearless leader. They hunted haunted places for clicks, views, and a taste of danger. Crimson Crossing was to be their magnum opus. They never imagined they'd become part of its legend. It took them 3 hours of hiking to reach it. The GPS lost signal halfway in. The woods seemed wrong, like they were looping. But then the trees opened. There it was, Crimson Crossing Station, just like in the old photos. 2 empty platforms, a rusted canopy, weeds sprouting through cracked concrete, and the tracks disappearing into twin tunnels swallowed by shadow, a crumbling ticket booth, and a clock above platform 2 stuck at one precise moment. 3:17 a.m. They set up camp near the platform, documenting every corner. Ron launched his drone, but the feed glitched. Ron's drone footage showed something odd. The clearing didn't appear on GPS. On the drone feed, there was no station at all. Just trees, dense and endless. It was as if the place didn't want to be seen from above. "We're standing in a ghost zone," Tasha joked. Ron frowned. "No, seriously. It's like it doesn't exist." The station seemed dead. They explored the station at dusk. Inside the waiting room were rows of broken benches, shattered glass, and discarded luggage that looked oddly preserved. A ticket stub dated October 13th, 1961, lay under a bench. That was the day of the last known disappearance. Above platform 2 hung a station clock, frozen at 3:17 a.m. Ron joked, "Maybe that's when the ghost train arrives." Liam rolled his eyes. "Right. And then what? We all get abducted?" Tasha smiled. Only one way to find out. They lit a fire and began their night shoot. Cameras rolled. EVP recorders clicked. Around 2:55 a.m., the wind changed. The air turned cold and heavy, as if something was watching, and it smelled like ash and metal. Then, a sound broke the silence. A low, dragging whistle, echoing from the tunnel. But no train. They all froze. The lights on the platform flickered to life, but there was no power source. Ron steps toward the tunnel with his camera to investigate. His voice crackles over the walkie-talkie. "There's something... Wait. Guys, there's someone down..." That was the last they heard. He never came back. When they reached the spot, only his camera remained, still recording. He looked terrified. Then, gone. Mid-step, no noise, no blood. Nothing. They searched for Ron for hours, calling, crying. No signal, no help, just endless woods in every direction. Somehow, even their own footprints disappeared. The forest kept shifting, moving around them. Tasha insisted on staying. Liam wanted to leave. Nia was frozen with dread. After a while, they all wanted to leave. But the woods had changed. Paths no longer led where they had come from. That's when they saw the people. On the tracks stood a dozen figures in train uniforms, black suits, conductors' caps, but their faces were blurred, like someone had erased them. They didn't move, didn't blink. They stood motionless in the mist, just stared, and the clock ticked closer to 3:17. The fire died. The wind stopped. At exactly 3:17 a.m., the whistle blew again. And then the train came. No engine sound, no rumble, just silence and steam. Black, gleaming, ghostly. Steam hissed. Lanterns flickered behind smoky windows. The engine bore no number, only a word carved into the steel. Deliverance. And from inside came a voice. Next stop, your reckoning. The door opened, and Tasha stepped forward, her eyes distant, entranced, hypnotized. Liam tried to stop her. She smiled at him, gently. I think this is the story, Liam. This is what we came for. She boarded, the door closed, and the train disappeared. No sound, no track marks. Just gone. Nia and Liam ran toward the forest, but the trees were wrong, twisted, knotted, and endless. The station behind them disappeared. The world was bending. Liam snapped and began muttering nonsense, eyes glazed. He whispered names they didn't know, in languages that didn't exist. Something had gotten into him. He screamed once, sprinted into the dark. Nia chased him, but he vanished between the trees. Nia never saw him again. The forest took him. Alone, terrified, Nia returned to the station. She didn't know how. Maybe it brought her back. In the station master's office, she found a diary buried under the floorboards. The last entry was dated October 13th, 1961. The entries told of a man named Elijah Croft, who served as Crimson Crossing's final conductor. In 1961, a stranger offered him a deal: power, eternal life, and peace in exchange for souls. Croft agreed and made a pact with the devil. He called it the conductor beyond the veil. In return for eternal peace, he offered souls. The train was never built by men. It was summoned. The train began collecting passengers, but they never reached their destination. They vanished into some another realm. This was the train, not bound by steel and track, but by darkness and blood. Croft was devoured by his own creation, but the train remained, waiting. Nia was alone, afraid, and she had no choice but to turn to someone she never believed in. In desperation, she clutched a small, ornate silver locket engraved with the face of Goddess Kali, the fierce goddess who protects against evil. A gift from her mother. She had never believed in it, had always dismissed such faith, an atheist at heart. But that day shattered her certainty. Fear tightened around her like a noose, and in her desperation, she found herself whispering for the goddess's help. For the first time, she was a believer. Behind her was a looming, indistinct dark presence that was trying to entrap her. Suddenly, the locket started glowing faintly in her hands, illuminating her face with a warm, protective light. Nia just looked straight and started walking through the woods, tightly clutching the locket. At dawn, Nia found a road. She was saved. A truck screeches to a halt as she collapses in front of it. She told her story. No one believed her. The footage erased, their channel gone, their names forgotten by the algorithm. But Naya wrote it all down. She titled it, The Last Stop, Crimson Crossing. A year later, in another part of the world, a child vanished near a disused platform. No witnesses, no evidence, just a whisper. The same black train approaches in the mist. Some say the station moves, some say it chooses you. Every year, 3:17 a.m., a train pulls into a forgotten platform, waiting for its next passenger. Would you get on?